All right, let's talk about the very foundation of our bodies, our bones. We're going to go beyond the usual suspects today to shine a light on a nutrient that honestly plays a massive and way too often overlooked role in keeping us strong.
So when you think bone health, your brain probably immediately goes to calcium, right? And maybe vitamin D. I mean, they get all the press. But what if I told you there's a third, absolutely essential player on the team, one that kind of enables the other two to even do their jobs in the first place?
Check out this number, 60%. That's how much of your body's entire supply of magnesium is stored right inside your skeleton. It's not just, passing through, it's a core building block of your bones themselves. And that brings us to the star of our show today, magnesium. It really is the unsung hero of bone health. While calcium and vitamin D are taking all the bows in the spotlight, magnesium is backstage, working tirelessly, making the whole production possible.
So what's its job exactly? Well, think of magnesium as vitamin D's critical partner. Your body literally needs magnesium to properly activate vitamin D, and it's that activated vitamin D that then lets you absorb calcium. So you see, without enough magnesium, that whole chain reaction just fizzles out.
Okay, so let's start with the hard science. Let's look at what researchers find when they actually analyze the magnesium levels in our blood.
And what's so fascinating here is just how clear the difference is. A 2018 study looked at postmenopausal women with osteoporosis and compared them to healthy women. The results, well, they speak for themselves. The women with osteoporosis had significantly lower magnesium levels. The data just couldn't be clearer.
And we're not talking about a rare issue here. Not at all. Research shows that a pretty staggering 30 to 40% of postmenopausal women in these studies have what's called hypomagnesemia. That's just the fancy clinical term for low blood magnesium. This is a huge, widespread problem.
And this isn't just a one-off finding. It really reflects the consensus in the scientific community. A major review in 2021 that looked at a ton of different studies came to one simple conclusion. Lower magnesium in your blood is directly linked to lower bone density, period.
So, if we know low levels in our blood are a problem, the next obvious question is, why are the levels low to begin with? And that takes us from what's inside our bodies to what's on our plates. It turns out that about 1 in every 5 people, that's 20% of us, are consistently just not eating enough magnesium. That's a pretty big gap in our diet that a lot of people probably don't even realize is there. And the consequence of that gap, well, it's pretty much exactly what you'd guess. Studies show that folks with low dietary intake also tend to have lower bone density and, you guessed it, a much higher risk for fractures. The takeaway is simple. What we eat or don't eat has a real, measurable impact on our bones. Now for the good news, magnesium is in a lot of really great healthy foods. We're talking about things like almonds and cashews, black beans, spinach, and get this, even your morning coffee and a nice piece of dark chocolate can give you a boost. But here's one of the big reasons so many of us fall short. Just look at the difference between whole grains and refined grains. When we process whole wheat into, say, white flour, we strip out over 80% of the magnesium. It's literally processed right out of the food. Okay, so if it can be tough to get enough magnesium from our modern diets, what can we do about it? Well, this leads us right into the world of supplements and whether they can actually help bridge that gap. This is the big question, isn't it? If you start taking a magnesium supplement, can it actually make a real, measurable difference in the strength of your bones? And the answer from all the research is a very confident yes. Time and time again, studies have shown that supplementing with magnesium can absolutely help increase bone density and lower the risk of fractures. Let's look at a specific case study to see how this works. Researchers took a group of women with osteoporosis and gave them a daily magnesium supplement. And the result? After just 1 year, their bone density didn't just stop getting worse, it actually increased. Meanwhile, the women who didn't get the supplement, their bone density just kept on declining. Okay, so we know supplements can work. The final piece of the puzzle is figuring out which one to buy. Because if you've ever walked down that supplement aisle, you know it can be incredibly confusing. There are so many options. Now, this is probably the single most important thing to get. Not all magnesium is the same. The magic word you need to know is bioavailability. It's just a way of saying how well your body can actually absorb and use the magnesium you're taking. This chart breaks it all down. On one side, you have forms like magnesium citrate and glycinate.
They have great bioavailability, meaning your body can easily absorb them. But on the other side, you've got forms like magnesium oxide and carbonate. They're poorly absorbed, which is why they often just end up working as an antacid or a laxative instead of helping your bones.
And this chart just drives that point home. I mean, look at the difference. A form like magnesium citrate can be up to 4 times more bioavailable than magnesium oxide. So for every 1 part of magnesium your body absorbs from oxide, it could be absorbing 4 parts from citrate. That's a huge difference in effectiveness.
So the bottom line is pretty simple. When you're choosing a supplement for your bones, the type of magnesium you pick matters just as much as the dose. You've got to pick a form your body can actually put to work.
At the end of the day, our bones are the foundation that holds up everything we do. So after seeing all this, it's worth asking yourself, are you really giving that foundation all the tools it needs to stay strong, including its unsung hero, magnesium?